Hi, I'm Nancy Forster, CEO of the National Emotional Freedom Techniques Training Institute here in Toronto in Canada, and I'm here with another golden nugget for you. Today I'd like to talk to you about refusal tapping. And this is a powerful technique to use at times when you've set a goal for yourself and you find yourself, despite your best intentions, really sabotaging and not following through on that goal. Has that ever happened to you? So here's an example. I'm trying to be more consistent with my exercise routine. So this morning I wanted to get myself out for a walk, and I found all kinds of other things to do, and eventually time ran out and I didn't get out for the walk. So rather than go into shame and guilt and that vicious cycle around that, here's what you can do using refusal tapping. So just follow along with me. Even though I refuse to go for my walk, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I refuse to go for my walk, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I refuse to go for a walk, I love and accept myself anyway. I'm not going for a walk. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to go, and nobody can make me. You can't make me. No one can. You can't do anything about it. It's my choice, and I'll decide when I walk and when I don't walk. I'm not willing to walk. I wasn't willing to walk this morning. I might not be willing to walk tomorrow, and I'm the one who's going to make that decision, and nobody else can. I refuse to go for a walk. That's it. So you can see even in that short tapping round that this technique actually unleashes a lot of energy as we acknowledge this natural biological resistance that's built into us to resist control. And so rather than fighting against that resistance, refusal tapping has us acknowledge that and tap on the part of us that is refusing to do what we would like to do. Now, I showed you an example where there's a behavior that I wanted to create, and part of me was refusing to go along with that. You could also use it for behaviors that you're attempting to take out of your life, and you're finding that you're continuing to do those behaviors. So it would be simple as, even though I refuse to give up those chocolate almonds, I love and accept myself anyways, and you would do the rest of the tapping round. So that's how you would work with behaviors. This is also a great technique to use for emotions. So maybe you find that you're attached to particular emotions that aren't helpful to you, say resentment perhaps, or maybe guilt or shame. And so you could do some refusal tapping on, even though I refuse to give up my resentment, I'm not going to, and I'm going to keep it as long as I want to, and you would do the rest of the round. So very powerful to use for emotions that you would prefer not to be experiencing, but you find that you're attached to them. You could also think about the idea of circumstances in your life that you apparently, for some good, although unconscious reasons, are refusing to give up. For example, debt. So it could be as simple as saying, even though I refuse to give up my debt, I love and accept myself anyways. Even though I refuse to give up my debt, I love and accept myself anyways. And complete your tapping around, and then as usual, stop and notice what's coming up for you next, and continue to do the work on the next aspect that comes up for you. On the flip side of the money, of course, it could be refusal to earn whatever you've said you want to earn. So perhaps you've set an earnings goal of $75,000 a year. Well, if you're not earning $75,000 a year, it might be interesting to acknowledge some resistance, some refusal around that, even though I refuse to earn $75,000 a year. I love and accept myself anyways. And then there's the idea of pain, particularly chronic pain, that we sometimes get attached to. And again, all of this is unconscious material. But to say, I refuse to give up that pain in my right knee. I'm not going to give it up. And I love and accept myself anyways. You can't make me. I don't want to give it up. Clearly I don't, because I'm not, and you can't make me. And continue and see what comes up from there. The other way that I've used this technique really effectively in my own life is if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm having difficulty falling back to sleep, then acknowledging that with some refusal tapping, even though I refuse to fall back to sleep right now, I'm a good person anyway. Even though my body's refusing to fall back to sleep right now, I love and accept myself anyway, and continue on with your tapping round. And as usual, when you're doing your tapping for sleep, you may not want to do your physical points because it may wake you up a little bit more. You may want to do your think tapping, or else you tap and breathe, something more gentle than the vigorous on your points. And one final thought to leave with the parents in the crowd. Imagine what would be different for your child if they actually had permission to do some refusal tapping rather than need their tantrums when they're 2 years old or their teenage rebellion, that it actually was part of your family life, that you could say to them, even though you refuse to eat your vegetables tonight, you're a good kid anyway. And to just lighten the resistance around that to see what happens next. Very often this refusal tapping is exactly what's required to just take the edge off that piece of resistance that's holding you back, and will allow you then to move forward with what it is you're wanting to create in your life. Thanks for watching. Glad you were here. Happy tapping, and bye for now.